Okay, superstars, back again. Took a stone to the radiator, so we're going to change that out. What have I done already? Yeah, ignore the garage and stuff, and just stored loads of boxes and I'm gonna have to move. But yeah, so what I've done so far is I've flushed the coolant, so I've got all that out. That was meant to have been changed 90 miles ago, so I don't think that was done. I took the bike and got it all tuned and stuff, and took off the power commander. It's a long story, but yeah, I did some other bits are meant to be done while I was there. Don't know if it all did get done, to be honest. Okay, so I don't know if you can see there's like this sort of patch down the bottom. I took a stone to the radiator and I thought, oh, it's getting a bit of a lick on, and I thought, oh my, I think I've cleaned my tire probably a bit, but I thought, oh, my front wheel feels a bit like slippery. So basically what it was doing is it was spraying from there onto my tire. You can sort of see on the rim, probably not picking it up, obviously it was fresh on the day, but sort of you can see maybe, and see inside the rim, sort of there. Maybe that shows it a bit better, maybe like all here. So yeah, it was basically just spraying from there directly onto there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off the bolt there, which is, I think it's 10 mil. I'm going to take this off. This I'm going to do a little bit, yeah, I'm not going to use too much finesse because it's knackered. There's a bolt in there, and then there's another bolt over here. I don't know if you can see it, but in there. And what I've found is that a 10 mil with like a ratchet fits really nicely in there, and it's lefty loosey. And now this doesn't work so much. This is better over here, and the reason why I say is because you get the spanner in like so, and then you can miss this cable, because what's happening is when you're trying to use the normal spanner, it hits that and it doesn't give you a lot of motion, a lot of range. So this is pretty good for there. So yeah, and then you can obviously use either one of these down the bottom. Now what I'll do is I'll probably set this up, empty the radiator. I'm gonna obviously take off all the other pipes, but for your guys' purpose I'm just swapping this out. Yeah, don't think you would just do the opposite to what I'm doing now to take it off, right, or to put it back on. So this is the new one. I'm just trying not to let it fall over. I'll try and show you the quality of it. It's okay. Some of the fins, like there, are a little bit damaged probably. I don't know why, so I'll try and straighten those out, but generally seems okay. I just wanted to open it just to make sure it was the same type of radiator. I've got a guard that's meant to be coming too, so I might need to like reverse these steps to put the guard back on, but I've got to take off a harness as well, which I don't know where that is yet. But like I said, I don't really care too much about this radiator, so I can ding it and stuff. But for you guys, I'll try and watch you. There's a clip there, so we'll take that cable off, and then I'm going to take off all the auxiliary parts later. Like I can unclip this now because I don't really care, so I'll loosen up all these and just take this off because I don't care if it gets any further damage. But for you guys, maybe it's in good condition and you just want to take it off, so we'll just watch and see where I fail, and then you'll do the opposite to what I do if it goes wrong, right? So yeah, just keep watching. Okay, so superstars, let's do this radiator. So here's the cooling system stuff. I don't know if you're able to see it, high enough quality, but so we're going to be following the Haynes manual for this. I don't know why it's pointing out these other sensors for the cooling fan relay and that. We haven't got that problem, we're just doing the radiator. It's a little bit vague with the show the bits of the cooling system, or the thermostat, I think it is, yeah. And then this is our beauty where we are. See, it doesn't tell you all the little bits, but you can sort of figure out where the bolts are anyways. I'd like to see actually what their job spec is for this. because you normally have like a little tool illustration. Oh yeah, repair 3, yeah, definitely. Maybe make that a 4 or 5. My skill. Pain in the butt, these things, especially when your bike's a bit older. It's more than likely like stuff that you'd probably deal with. I mean, the other side wasn't too bad, but you see you get like a lot of this, I don't know, it like oxidizes onto the pipe. So obviously you need to be careful now, because you don't want to damage those, because I haven't got a spare. But then you also want to try and, can you hear it like cracky and stuff? See, okay, so we've loosened it up a bit, so now I'm going to just peel it off. There shouldn't be anything in it because I emptied this earlier, but I'm going to bring the bucket around. But I'm just trying to show you like there's little bits, so just, you know, use a screwdriver, try and be careful, just try and like break that off. And we're not going to use this again, but if I was going to reuse this, I'd clean all that up, that surface up with like a Dremel or something. So pop this off, and we'll just keep going. I just wanted to show you like they can be quite sticky and you need quite a lot of force, and then be careful you don't pull the bike off of the you know, jack stands and stuff. Just be careful basically. Try and get this camera up for you so you can see. No, I'm blocking the light, but yeah. Yeah, so I'm just going in between the manifold, just tapping the tyre. Seems to be working. And then obviously the thought process behind taking that off is hopefully that'll just swing like pendulum style, and I've got the two at the top, they still connected, and then that's when you'd probably maybe need 2 hands or something, or in my case I'll probably just cover this with a cloth or something, and then I mean I'm gonna be a bit more ruthless and let it just drop. I can leave this expansion tank and stuff on because it's all connected to the radiator, so I'll take that off in a bit, clean that out. But I can be a little bit more ruthless. I can allow this to drop because I'm not reusing it because it's leaking. But you guys might want like I say like a 2-hander, but yeah. And then I've got to still unclip that cable there, and then I'll take all the bits off the radiator in a sec, but just show you. So I'll get to that and then get to the other 2 at the top. We should be all good. It doesn't slide out straight away, so you're actually okay to just pull the bolt out. Look, I just literally just pulled the bolt out, still stayed in place. So yeah, so now it's to get to the other bits. Okay, so this clip is maybe like a tiny bit of a bugger. So I'm trying to get the camera not to use up all the lights. So basically you press in on it, and then you like pull it towards you. It doesn't feel right, but it'll come out. See, that's effectively the bit that's like clipping it in, so you need to compress that, and then it allows it to unscrew from there. I think that's the only thing that's holding me there. Obviously this is attached to the radiator, but I think this is the only thing then keeping it to the bike, because I've removed that, I've removed the other 2 off the other side. This I've just unclipped from there, and then this should all stay on this unit. I've taken care not to like throw away caps, and I'll obviously clean this because I don't know what would come with the new radiator. So I've got the old radiator cap and stuff like that, so maybe it fits and it's exactly the same, because then it's like an OEM cap, so it's probably got all the safety data and all the safety pressures and stuff on it, so we kept all that. Yeah, like I said, this part's pretty easy. I've just got the ratchet on there, and I'm making sure not to tap the fork, so I just put my finger over the tip of it, and yeah, I'm just doing that. It's pretty boring, so we'll do that. I thought that I would just record this bit because it could go yeah, it could be funny, it could go horribly wrong. So I'm gonna take out the last bolt. Let's just see what gives. I know I'm probably gonna make a mess. I've got the carpet here anyways, but you'll see the true devastation. I know I haven't covered the mud guard, the fender either, but I've sort of got the not really. I'm just going to try and do the rest by fingers with my finger. And now we're going to see if I've literally removed everything. It's starting to get a lot heavier. So I've got this little baby out. Okay, so I've got this. I just want to see if I lose any washers or anything, or what's actually moving around. Okay, so the brackets come away. Is that normal? I don't know. I just want to double check. Okay, so I've got what I think to be all the bolts out. Have I removed enough stuff? Yes, I have. So what did that do? So that sat inside. So I've just got to try and remember how this all goes back together, because I'm not amazing at this. Okay, so that bracket, yeah, it should all just marry up hopefully, and that's that. Oh shit, okay, we got the leakage like we thought. We knew that was gonna happen. Oh shit, oh shit, oh goddamn. Okay, I wanted some leakage, but not really that much. Try and see if we can. Oh, come on, mate. Drip, 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 drip. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's that. Come back to this in a sec. So it's the same thing, like in a similar vein, you wouldn't really lean this on anything because you want to protect the fins, but let's try and show you the state of the fins. You can see it's like it's had its day, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay, we'll compare it to the new Radiator 2 in a sec, but I'm just going to show you what I'm going to take off next, and then I'll just take that off. You guys don't need to see that, I suppose. I'm just going to take this baby off because this has got to go directly back on, and same with the tank. So you just want to make sure you got there's a bolt there, and then those three for the fan. And it was all working before I took it off, so shouldn't be an issue going back on. But I don't, like I said, I don't need to show you guys that, so that'll just be me taking it off for myself. I almost forgot, also hang on to all of your grommets because they do not come with the Radiator. So you push out that centerpiece and then you peel out the grommet. Maybe I'm going to put some WD-40 or something, or some GT85 or 80, whatever it is, just to like lube them up so they come out easy. And you know I love my copper slip, so I've got to put some copper grease somewhere. You know me, superstars. Okay, so all the bits are removed from the old one, so I forgot to tell you about these clips too. So you keep these two. They basically come from here, that'll go into your new Radiator. So yeah, take them off. It's still out of the bolts to screw into them. I just took the Dremel and quickly just like just took a bit of like where the oxidization and stuff was, just took all that off, just a little bit. And then I've got the fan there, and I'm going to quickly change the radiator out. We'll do a little quick side-by-side comparison, but I just want to be obviously a lot more careful with the other one. There's a couple of like bent fins already. What can you do? So I can straighten those with the tweezers, but what I'll do is I'll just want to probably set the other one up like this, making sure I touch nothing in the back, because I don't want to bend any more to make, you know, don't want to make more work for myself basically. But if I can build it up, maybe put it at least back into the bottom piece, because this bottom piece allows the radiator to stand upright, and this I'm just using in case I bump these edge bits. So hopefully you can put it back in there with the fan attached. Let's see. Okay, cool. So because I'm a genius, I just took the back piece of foam, hooked it onto there, so if it touches back, we're going to be fine. But basically this cap and stuff is probably in the welds have yeah, they're not, it's not OEM, shall we say. And the fin spacing is actually quite wide apart, which I'm not, same thing, I'm not really an expert with it per se, but I can only imagine it won't be as efficient, you know, potentially. So yeah, we'll go with that, but it's fine. Look, we haven't got holes, and half of the fins in old one are bent anyway, so, but as you can see, these are not in great state anyway. I mean, I didn't do that, you know. So yeah, let me take it out of the packet, because it'll probably take me a while to do that nicely, and then I'll show you. But it seems really similar, like minus the cap and stuff. I hope the cap and stuff doesn't actually foul on the fairing and stuff, because the other cap, let's see if the caps are interchangeable. But if I have to use that one, yeah, it's not really gonna, I don't know, it could actually foul on the fairing, seriously, but I'll tell you when we get to that point. So yeah, all the fittings and stuff seem to be the same. It's just little things like this is oversized for the overflow, so that I know that doesn't look the same size as the current one, so I might need more tubing for that. But yeah, all the fittings seem to like be in the right place, and the diameter on like the main stuff seems to be fine. So yeah, we should be all good. So yeah, let me put all the bits back on. So remember, it's just the opposite to what I described. There's no point you guys seeing this as, yeah, so we'll just check in with me when I've got all the fan and stuff on. Yeah, this bit was way more of a pain in the butt than I wanted it to be. I had to slightly bend that bracket like inwards. That one stayed the same. This one I just gave a slight bend to as well, trying to just like hold, like keep the structural rigidity here, or just trying to hold it, and then just to put a little bend just to like make the fan stick out ever so slightly, because what it does is when you put it on, it fouls the radiator straight away. So I'm 4 washers deep here, so I'm like, there's 4 washers underneath. I'm trying to show you what, like, so the copper didn't have the stainless or whatever, so yeah, so 4 of them thick. You can see how it's quite high off at the bottom, so I put them just to space it out, because if you put that flat, even with the bend, it still fouls. And then I've got one behind here as well, one of those copper washers, and that one's just fit flush, and now it runs and doesn't foul the radiator at all, and that all seems fine. And then yeah, I'll clean out the expansion tank now and stuff like that. Use deionized water or distilled water, whatever you want to call it, because that's non-conductive and stuff, and you can give it a good clean. So I'll do that next. Okay, cool. Just a couple of things before I close out, because I need to get a bit of kip. It's getting a bit late. So yeah, like I told you, that doesn't fit properly, so you have to mess with that. And same with this. I did think that this inlet here was a bit too big, so the tube still fits on, but the OEM, like the hose clamp doesn't work. I've got a set of like generic types, but there's nothing. I don't have a size between this and the one up is just way too big, so I had to use a little like Jubilee clip. I don't really want to use one of those, but I've had to. So yeah, so I've used that. I've got that bolted on the side, and then we'll revisit it tomorrow. Hopefully I'm getting a guard, so hopefully that comes, because I want to put it all in at the same time, and then I'll attempt to straighten out some of these fins and stuff. But yeah, that's for tomorrow. Okay, so what have we done here? So we've done the grommets. I just put a bit of oil around there to fit them in. Yeah, and put the pins through, well, the sleeves, so they're all in. I've put the original cap on there too, because I don't think, even though this one's nice, it's CNC'd and stuff, but it's massive, right? I don't think that's gonna fit. And then let's do try and show you that the shape of the old one. Yeah, so the direct comparison, like the stuff that makes me worry a little bit about it, is that just things like the end tanks aren't the same diameter. These are like noticeably wider. I mean, even this is like slightly wider, but don't let that fool you. Yeah, okay, maybe it'll hold slightly more liquid, but that's not really efficiency per se, like having that thicker, because the fins, you know, there's more surface area on this to dissipate heat, because the fins are so like closely packed and stuff, and those, they're quite wide, you know, they're dispersed quite widely. And yeah, I'm just hoping it clears the look. I wasn't expecting a miracle here. I didn't expect, you know, OEM quality or whatever, but I'm just hoping it clears the bodywork and stuff, because that's going to be an issue, right, that I can't really get around. So it really needs to clear the bodywork. So let's try and put this thing at an angle so that you can see when I'm busy messing about. But basically what I'm going to do is try and anchor the bottom bit of this in to here first, and then try and maneuver around the top. The issue I've got is that I just don't hold much faith in these top bits sort of marrying up. So yeah, we'll go from there. But also, like, remember to like clip this plastic bit in, because that'll start coming loose when you knock it about. Just little things. Okay, but yeah, try and watch. Let's see how this goes. I'm just going to try and get you a good angle so that you guys can see properly. Let's move some bits out the way. Let's see if that works. To be honest, I'm probably gonna have my arm in the way through a lot of it, but it's also, I'd probably say a two-person job if you can get someone else to help you, and hope you don't get any crotch shots here. Also, you're just going to go finger tight. You want to try and obviously not touch the fins really. So you try and get it. There's little cutouts in the plastic above, so you just try and get that in there. And then we try and get this bottom bit up. And this I should be able to just feed the bolt through. Let's get it through that grommet. Yeah, it's definitely a two-person job. That's it. Yeah, so sort of push that grommet through. Okay, so we're going to start losing stuff. I'm not too sure why I thought this would be really easy, but I guess we got the bolt at least through finger tight, and then yeah, then I've got to get my other bolts and then start finding out where these holes are going to go. Okay, so the honest conversation I'm having with myself right now is that how am I going to get this to fit into the bracket up there? So we'll attempt to just show you me struggling with it. I mean, I'm just gonna try it. So there's basically a bracket here that holds one of the cables, which I think is maybe the throttle cable. So if I can lift this up, I need to try and, like, because it doesn't fit right, and that's a bit fiddly. You really want two people so you can get someone to push it, like, from the bottom, because it just seems like it's a very long way to get up to that. So I think it's probably going to be a two-person job, this. I don't see it stretching to get up there, to be honest. But that's another thing. You've got to be careful with this alloy as well, because I don't think it's very strong. So maybe I'll try from the top. But I'll let you know. I'm not going to get this in on camera. It's going to take forever, so I'm just going to tell you how hard it was if I get it in. That was an absolute pig to get on. Seriously, it was really, really hard to get on. I'm just busy nipping up stuff now. This was the hardest one. Just trying to aim it up. Geez, I even got like a hand. That didn't work. I started getting overexcited, started getting peed off because I couldn't get that bolt in with that bracket. But you just got to manipulate it's the bracket really. You've got to press the cable down on the inside, and then that bracket sort of comes into play. And like I said, the fitment isn't great on this, so get ready for it. Get ready for the struggle, real struggle. But yeah, I'm just going to nip everything up now, and then I'll start putting the tubes on. I really hope this does not leak, because then I'm going to be emotional. I forgot to show you, after I got my girlfriend to try and hold it and stuff, and that wasn't exactly working, I just deployed the row technique and yeah, tied it around here to keep the one side up, bolted the bottom piece, and went to the other side because it's easier to get to, and just start threading that in, and then I buggered with this one, and obviously had the row tight to keep that corner like pinned in, and use the handlebar, and then I could mess around trying to get that to at least just start threading. Obviously with the bike not being, you know, brand new, it makes it a little bit harder, but yeah, sorry, I forgot to tell you, I just used this, wrapped it around there, and yeah, but not easy at all. Okay, so everything's loose. Everything's loose with regards to these pipes and the fittings. So yeah, I'm probably going to change that Jubilee clipper now. Yeah, I'm just going to go and put all the things on. It seems like relatively stiff. I've obviously hope it doesn't have a leak in it or something. I'm a little bit skeptical, but yeah, now hopefully it should all be good. So yeah, so I'm literally just gonna pop all these on. The same thing on the other side. So I'll remove all the caps. I'll probably just leave them on that side just so that I match them up in a sec. But I mean, these pipes all seem fine. I told you about the top one there. I can probably remove this now. I told you about the top one. I had to use a Jubilee clip there. I couldn't use the original. It looks okay. It's got a bit of a bend there, but nothing that's kinking the tubing. So yeah, I'll plumb all this back in and then we'll go. Nothing looks like it's fouling there, and I'll plug the fan back in too. So we'll plug that in now while we're here. So just so we don't forget that. So we get fans plugged back in, and I'll do the rest and get back to you. Okay, so we're all connected up. New Jubilee clip there, like I mentioned. Well, I hope it's not too tight. Yeah, it's always a weird one with these. I don't know how tight to make them, so I just never mind. So I tightened up those two there too. Now when we fill the system up now, we might use this just to get a bit of the air out. But we will see how the liquid moves around. I'll show you from this side. And here's the liquid we're going to use. Is the Fuchs Silk Clean Mag Cool. So I just got 4 liters premix. About a tenner a bottle here in the UK. So yeah, so obviously we tightened up that. Don't worry about that protruding a little bit. That is tight. I've squished that down. It doesn't, like, I normally go with these Jubilee clips. I normally tighten them enough, so if I can twist the pipe, then it's not tight enough. That's just me. That's nobody's told me that. I just use it as try and use it as like a simple common sense thing, because otherwise you'll screw these down so much and you'll split the tube. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm just literally gonna yeah, put these in till I see it. You know, keep pouring till I see. Sorry. Yeah, so I'll keep filling it until I see a bit here. Then I'll just squish the pipes, try and get the airlocks out, put as much fluid as I can into the system before I start it. So you don't need to see that. It's like teaching you guys how to suck eggs. You guys know how to do that. I've got the cap, obviously I still know where that is, so I'll put all that back on in a bit. And then I told you I'm using the original cap, and yeah, so just leave me to it. This is the boring bit, so let me just put the liquid in and go from there. Yeah, I'm just releasing like a little bit there. I'm not totally unscrewing it. I'm just allowing it to let the air lock out, so don't think in here. So there we go. I'm just going to be on top of it because I want to obviously nip it up when the stuff starts pouring out. Okay, cool. So we've done the old squishing of the pipes. We've done the little bleed screw around the corner, but on the other side, I think it's near the pump. And then what we'll do now is we'll put the cap on, and we'll just let this beast get up to temperature. Some people put stuff into the expansion tank and stuff like that, but because I think I've got quite a lot of the airlocks out, I'm hoping, yeah, I'll be interested to see if actually anything goes into it. So I've got nothing here at the moment. So I've got to yeah, there's a full line and stuff on the other side, but I can't, as you can see, there's nothing in there at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll put the cap back on it, put the cap back on this, and then yeah, we'll start it up, and then we'll let it warm up. I'll put the cap on properly, don't worry, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so the fan's kicked in. Probably can't hear much, but we just got to around 95 and then the fan kicked in. So that's all good. Yes, you can see the fan still spinning, so I'm happy with that. I just needed to make sure it wasn't fouling on anything. Seems to be fine, seems to be spinning freely. Yeah, to be honest, it took a while to get the temperature, so it is actually doing a bit better, and it's not actually too cold, like too cool outside. It's quite warm. So yeah, either the liquid's pretty cool, and yeah, the new radiator. So yeah, that one was definitely, oh, you can see it was on its way out, but yeah, so painful but successful. And then yeah, you've obviously seen the like did the Haynes manual thing again. So yeah, it's all turned out pretty cool. Don't need to teach how to suck eggs. Like, it's boiling hot, so you leave it now till the next day. And then I checked for leaks and stuff like that, just to make sure with pressures and all that type of goodness. I've got to replace my mirror next. I'll show you that. That's just, I've got to order new mirrors from Suzuki, because I ordered some online and they were just tacky. Like, the arms don't move, and you want to be able to move them in and out when you're going places and stuff. So I think from Suzuki are 130-ish quid each, something like that. So what I've done, because I can't get them now, I've just bought other bits, so I'll probably get them next month. But what I've done is I've bought a replacement mirror type thing. Basically you get a piece of like plexi, like type of plastic, I can only imagine, like a composite mirror in a sense, and then you offer it up to your current mirror, measure it out, cut it out, and then I'm just going to stick it on just temporary over the top. In the UK, for like MOTs and stuff here, you don't need mirrors, like pretty much lots of places in the world, but I like them anyway, just so that I can see. Yeah, so I'll just put that over there just for now, just as like a quick fix till I get the other mirrors, because like I said, the ones that came, they don't adjust and stuff, and they LED and all that type of bits, but there's some things I don't really want to put on, like some things I don't want to cut corners with. But anyways, yeah, so that's the radiator changed. It's not easy. It'd probably be much easier if it was OEM, like an OEM radiator, and everything was brand new. But obviously, because the bike's like 2006, 2007, you've got just the added issues with trying to get the bolts in and bits like that. This bike doesn't really see any rain since I've had it. I really look after it, keep it in the garage and stuff like that, but still, it's not, you would think it's pretty easy, but it's a mission on your own, like, to try and do it. You saw me like gymming with like ropes and stuff, but possible, but definitely give yourself like two afternoons and take a couple of chill pills, because you start sweating a little bit, because you don't want to damage your radiator too. But yeah, anyways, you send me, like, yeah, there we go, I've installed it. I've used about, currently we're nearly 3 liters in, so then tomorrow I'll give you a proper amount of how much I've put in, and we can see, because I've got 4 liters, so we'll be able to work out how much I've put in. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so now for the moment of truth. Let's see what's in the next day. Let's see if we've actually got, oh god damn, let's see if we can see in there. Give it a little shake. Can't really see properly. Get my torch. So I think it's actually right up at the top, so maybe by bleeding it. Oh yeah, okay, I can take a little bit more. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, so we can put a little bit more in there, and then I'll top that up right to the top, and then I'll fill this little baby here. There's like 2 lines. I've just got to double check. Let's have a look which side I've got to do it to. Maybe I can actually, let me look from the other side of the bike. Let's have a look. There we go, so low and full. So I will top it up. I think I will put it to the, I don't actually need to put much in there. I might just put it to the bottom of the low, maybe in the middle of both, because if I top it up, maybe some might overflow into it, but I'll double check that. So I'm actually, oh yeah, there we go, you can actually see a little bit, you can see a little bit in the bottom actually already. There's a little bit there, like pink. So some has gone over. Obviously when it gets hotter, it expands, so that's why you don't want to totally fill it. We'll fill it in the beginning anyway, give some space for expansion. So yes, I'll top it up again, and I'll put a little bit into that tank as well. And then yeah, so that's all fitted. I'm gonna put something, I know this lent on the radiator before anyway, and this is probably a heat resistant tape, but I've actually ordered some more heat resistant tape, and I will, I'll put some on, probably on here, just to stop it. It'll also stop it rubbing and perforate, like stop perforation too. And then what else did I get? I got a I got one of these guards so that I don't, hopefully I'll reduce that problem next, and there'll be another video, so I'll install that. It should be pretty quick, and that's it. Just below the full line, just below the full line on the side, because I'm right up to the brim here, so that'll if anything goes over, obviously I've got a lot of space here for expansion, but those lines are there for a reason, I suppose. So yeah, so we use this if anyone wants to get it. And yeah, so how much have we used? We've used just shy of, it's not scientific, hold on a minute, just trying to have a look. Okay, so there is, it's about 150, yeah, it's about 100-ish mil, maybe 150. So we've used nearly 3 liters. Yeah, nearly 3 liters in here. And yeah, it's all looking good. No leaks. I'm gonna put my guard on next. And weirdly, it's yeah, it took actually a while to warm up, so it was pretty efficient. It took much, yeah, it took much longer than normal to warm up. So yeah, so the radiator's working at least. Hope you enjoyed it. And then yeah, we'll put the fairing on. I don't know if I've got a fairing removal in any of my other videos, but it's normally like these 3 bolts. So 1, 2, 3 here. I just pop this one out here. I don't know why. Normally I just pop that one out just so I can get a bit of movement with this. These just pop out. You've got the 4 in the fairing. You got 2 on each side, and maybe 3 up at the top if I remember correctly. And then you got the ones at the bottom. But yeah, I didn't do a whole. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the videos a little bit short, and just, it's just intriguing because I couldn't find any with people putting this type of radiator on, you know, on the on their bikes, or on our specific ones anyway. And then yeah, I'll do a video for the protector too next.